You guys taking off on me? You all three turned around and I put my flashlight. You said, hey, come here. You guys all turned around and walked away.
I thought it was just like a fake person, honest. Yeah, like
how many fake people are out here that you've experienced?
How's your night going?
I'm pretty good.
That's good.
Just trying to stay warm.
Is that Yell's car right there?
Yeah, they downgraded us from patrol cars.
Gotcha.
They gave us hybrids to save on fuel.
There you go.
Smart.
Can everyone hear me okay? I am at a point where my heart is hurting, and I'm not going to come on camera with red swollen eyes. We have lost one of our beautiful 1111 family members, and they were a chat mod for a chat as well. And so I invite you at the end of this time that we're about to share, I invite you to spend the last 10 minutes with sharing your most beautiful memories of how Marie's coloring has touched your life, because she had brought so much light to our world that we need to celebrate her, and also offer a moment of prayer for Hunter and her husband. This has got to be one of the hardest times of their lives. And so with that, I love you all. And as Marie would say, on with the show. I love you guys so very much. All right, my loves, let's start off with Scott Green. So, Scott Green, who in the hell is Scott Green? Well, he is the University of Idaho president. How did he get the president position of the University of Idaho? So this is going to be a workshop today. And I have a lot of things to share with you. And in sharing this with you, I want you to look at these faces that you're seeing. You can see the IDAHO4. You're very familiar with Xana, with Ethan, with Kaylee, and with Maddie. And that happened to be taken on the last day that they were alive. They were living on the campus, not in the dorm, not in a sorority, but in a townhouse, if you will, a campus house. You have Claire, Hannah Claire, and she lived in a small apartment, had a roommate, was also U of I. Then we have Hudson Lindo, and again, U of I. All of this, and in the middle of it, who do we have? The dean, Scott Green, the president of the university. So I started looking up. I'm like, I want to do his chart. I want to look at his astrological chart. And with that, I was like, wait a minute, I need his birth date. So I just started digging around and I found his birth date. But I started really understanding something here. And I was like, what in the hell? All right. So we're going to get into this in a deep way. Give me a 1 if I'm being able to be heard. Okay. And we'll head over here. Hey, Bex. Hey, Carolyn Rain. Sherry Urban, how are you, lovely? Jill Elaine. Yes, we will definitely be sharing our time together in a few minutes, but I have a lot to show you. Oh, thank you, Carolyn. So I want to make sure you get the information, because this took me down a rabbit hole really fast, and it's important. And so with that, Mama D, got to get the info out there. I feel like I'm getting into my rubber ducky shoes. I don't know why, but I'm starting to really look at these people. So Scott Green, this is going to be fast. You're probably going to have to watch replay, which I'm just saying it helps the algorithm, right? Cummer is his first name, Scott Green. He was born in 1962, March 1st. So that gives me his birthday, but it doesn't say that here, but I know that. American businessman and an academic administrator, serving as the 19th president of the University of Idaho in Moscow. He took office in July of 2019. 4 years ago, you guys. 4 years. All right? So 4 years is not that long ago. And this is going to help us so much in understanding why we're seeing all this behavior and what are they trying to hide. So get ready for a boom, 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 boom. This one has an echo. All right. Here, listen to this statement. Green took office in July 2019 and has been characterized as a non-traditional choice for the role, as he has neither a doctorate nor a background in higher education. So what the hell is he doing as the president, right, of a college? Let's continue. Well, he was born in Moscow, and Green moved to Boise in 1969, graduated from high school in Boise in 1980. He earned a bachelor's degree in accounting. Keep in mind, follow the money, baby. Ka-ching, ka-ching, 1984 from the University of none other than Idaho in Moscow. He was a member of Kappa Sigma fraternity and served as a student body president. Green earned a master's in business administration from Harvard Business School in 1989. Now hang on, this gets good. Green began his career in Boise Cascade, a manufacturer of forest products. All right, so this had to do with lumber, paper, photo, livestock, anything to do outdoors, and building, right, which was headquartered in Boise. After completing his MBA at Harvard, he worked for Doliite, whatever that is, Tajmatasa Limited, whatever the hell that is, let's call it DTT, commonly referred to as Doliite, is a multinational professional service network. National now, we're worldwide. It's the largest professional service network by revenue and number of professionals in the world, and is considered one of the big four accounting firms. Again, where's the money, right? Goldman Sachs. Do you really need me to read this? This is about a multinational investment banking service. He worked there too. And for ING Bearings, which there's nothing there. And then a lot of other places. And then here, look at this. This is international, again, law firms, Europe and Asia. You see how this is connecting him all over the world, right? Headquarters in Washington, D.C. and Boston. Oh, my God. Okay, let's look at Pepper Hamilton, right? Law firm, 1,200, law, okay? Y'all following me? Okay, he served as a global chief operating and financial officer for Hogan Lovells, British law firm, co-headquartered in London and where? Washington, D.C. Okay, you're following me. Now, think of this big dude, this national, that's got all this, right, going on. He's world-renowned. In April of 2019, the Idaho State Board of Education unanimously approved Green's appointment to the U of I presidency, starting at a salary of $420,000. So he has to take a pay cut, literally. Okay. In 2023, President Green initiated a deal with Apollo Global Management. Let's check them out. They're an investment. They're a private equity firm, right? And they invest into what? Real assets. They're building up companies and helping you increase an investor credit to create a nonprofit in an effort to acquire the University of Phoenix. So he tried to create a nonprofit organization while being a university. You know, he's already over here as the president of University of Idaho, but he's trying to create a non-profit organization and be able to get the University of Phoenix for free. All right, so he goes behind closed doors, you guys, and has a whole bunch of meetings, but he has to pay a price. Well, then he gets pulled up by the shirt tails, and that's what's going on in 2023. Anyway, in October, Idaho Attorney General Raw Labrador subpoenaed Green, demanding a number of records relating to the University of Phoenix acquisition. Now, this gets even into depositions. This gets serious. So I was like, what's going on here, Scott? What are you really up to? And now you got these murders on your own property? Okay, he says, I don't like what's happening over the last 10 years. See Scott Green's return to the U of I. See, Scott Green faced a career crossroads this year. Now, remember, this is back in 2019, right? 4 years before the murders. Oh, actually, 3 years before the murders. It says, should he stay in New York City? I told y'all! Are you following me? I told you it's about the library and all the state funding and everything that came with the Russians and the library from New York City all the way back to the Civil War. And then the university was built in Idaho. Where did they name it? What did they name it? Moscow, Russia. Okay, here we go. An executive with the International Law Firm. He was an executive in an international law firm, but he has no law degree that I can track down, right? Okay. Or should he return to his home state and his alma mater as University of Idaho president? A friend of the legal profession broke it down for Green in stark terms. He could stay put and help law partners get richer. Or he could change the lives of tens of thousands of college students. Well, by God, that happened, didn't it? Anyway, the closing argument made, Green decided the U of I job. Green, 57, is moving across the country and taking a pay cut. Well, how kind of him. What a martyr. Even though the U of I will pay him $420,000 per year. He says he has no career backup plan. And the U of I faces myriad of challenges. Staff morale. A recent enrollment drop. We're talking 2019 enrollment drop. And this is the boom. An athletic department in disarray. What? Okay. Let's just jump over to that. So in 2019 is when this dude had to get out of town and could no longer be the U of I president. Because, oh my golly, y'all, this is all gets crazy. Okay, let me grab a drink. Scott Green took over for Chuck Stabbin. I kid you not, Stabbin. I don't care how they say it, I'm going to say it. Chuck Stabbin. This dude to me reminds me of Chucky, but here we go. After I choked to death on that drink. Hold on, one more cough. Okay, I'm surviving. Wait, y'all. Just you wait. Oh my God. All right. The University of President to leave in 2019. This is put out by the Idaho Ed News staff. This is dated in 2018 of May. All right. So the State Board of Education and Chuck Stabbin have mutually agreed that the 2018-2019 academic year will be Statton's last at University of Idaho president. Stabbin has been the U of I's president since 2014, but will be leaving next spring when his contract expires. Meanwhile, listen. The State Board is developing a request for proposal for a firm to lead the search to find new presidents at the U of I and Boise State University. Okay? The board announced Staben's departure in a brief news release, which is issued Friday morning. Let's go there. We'll come back. There's so much in that other. Okay? And this is his letter where he requests a proposal for a firm to get somebody new. Yeah. Okay. Let's get out of that. It's not what I thought. All right. There probably was more, but there's so much to show you. So let's scroll down here. Yes. This is it. Okay. Shortly after the state's board's announcement, Staben issued a letter to the U of I community in which he said his time as president has not been without contention. He said his departure is unrelated, listen close, to the ongoing sexual misconduct investigation of the University of Idaho's athletic department. Athletic Director Rob Spear has been placed on paid administration leave while the investigation continues. That review is proceeding and a report will be available soon, Staben said Friday. Last fall, Staben was a finalist for the president's job. Whoops. Sorry, y'all. Hold on. For the... Where? Okay. Last fall, Staben was a finalist for the president's job at the University of New Mexico. Staben interviewed on the campus in October, but UNM ultimately selected Garnet Stokes, an administrator from the University of Missouri. In his letter, Staben said his application at UNM caused a distraction for the U of I. Yeah. A U of I news release touted several milestones during Staben's time as president, such as an effort to boost university research. Now a $109 million undertaking, developing a 9-year strategic plan focused on increasing enrollment and improving student access to courses, staff training on Title IX issues, and bringing the idea of a new on-campus basketball from a dream to an achievable reality. But he retired instead. Yeah, look at this. Boise State President Bob Custra announced his retirement plans in November, but no successor is in place. After initial search that attracted 53 candidates and carried over a price tag of $100,000, the state board abruptly decided last week to just start over. See, they're all turning hands at the same time. Something big, some sort of Boise University of Idaho networking kind of thing, probably, in my personal opinion, was connected. I'm just saying. And then this dude takes it over. Let's go back to him. Okay, let's do this. The non-traditional choice. The State Board of Education chose green over a field of finalists from college president central casting. 4 candidates who have worked as college deans or provosts. Green hasn't worked in academia and doesn't hold a doctorate. He instead comes from Hogan Lovells, a law firm with 45 offices around the world. Green was the firm's global chief operating and financial officer. You know how much money he had to have been making, y'all? Green's background is in business. The Moscow native and Boise High School graduate received a bachelor's in accounting from U of I in 1984 and an MBA from Harvard University in 1989. He was a non-lawyer who ran law firms. Now, he's a non-academic in charge of a university. He sees some common themes, some common management strategies. Attorneys are skeptical by nature, he says. They don't respond well to a command and control environment. You can't tell them what to do. The same traits apply to the university faculty, and with it comes the same need to work with staff to achieve buy-in. See that money buy-in word? Yeah, that's an omission. Buy-in. I think my management style is one that fits very well in the higher ed environment, he says. As an Idahoan and U of I grad with ties to the university's Alumni Association and Foundation, Green is going to do as a salesman for the University of Idaho. There's that money, salesman, says Senator Carl Crabtree. The challenge will be in selling himself to the academic community. Green's predecessor, Chuck Stabben, ran afoul of some prominent boosters and agreed to step down after 5 years on the job, and he brought a background in academic research to the job. I had no problem with Stabben, said Crabtree, a U of I graduate who now sits on the Senate Education Committee and the Budget Writing Joint Finance Appropriations Committee. He's a man of substance and academia, and I respect that. Green breaks his priorities into 3 areas. Number 1, he wants to enhance the student experience. He says he's committed to making the U of I a safe campus. How interesting. A process that begins with bystander intervention for incoming students and training in the residence halls and fraternities and sororities. He also wants to ensure the U of I is affordable. We have to take a hard look at where we can bend the cost curve. I wonder, is that why they're all driving hybrids? Number 2, he wants to enhance research opportunities for undergraduates and graduate students alike. The U of I has done a good job of integrating research into bachelor's and extension programs. He says 2/3 of undergrads get a chance to work on applied research projects. Number 3, he wants a U of I to do a better job of telling its story. Oh my God, they do have a story now, don't they? Green says a big part of his job will be in talking up the university's unique academic offerings and the value of a college education. That sales pitch comes at a pivotal time, not just for the U of I, but for the state's entire higher education system. The state has made scant progress to hit its 60% goal, an effort to convince more young adults to finish college or obtain a professional certificate. The post-secondary completion rate remains mirrored at 42%, and that's partly a reflection on college graduation rates. And at a time when the state is trying to encourage more high school graduates to go to college, the U of I's enrollment dropped by 2.6% last fall. And it goes on to talk about how they got more money, and they're talking about how 40% of UI students qualify for federal Pell Grants and so forth. So I'll let you go and do your own research here. Interesting. Here's, one of his supporters here. Carolyn Troy, or Genesee. They met through the Greek system, and she supports him while he ran successfully for his student body president, and they have stayed in touch ever since. He's not looking at other universities. He was looking at the job, and this was the job he wanted, Troy said. He's doing this for so many right reasons. Excuse me? Yes, he is looking at other universities, lady. You don't even know your friend very good, because right here it's telling us that he's trying to acquire through some underhanded, possibly, allegedly, trying to get a University of Phoenix for free that he ends up having to purchase behind closed doors, which you're trying to say is okay to do. Right? Well. Let's go over here. March 1st, 1967. This is his birth chart and his solar return chart for 2022. So let's pull it up a little bit. We have about, we'll only be looking at this for about maybe 10 minutes. I'm not going to go real heavy in depth. But if you have something where you know how to read a birth chart, you know what these mean, put it out there. I will definitely try to catch your comment. I want to say, hey, Pendezi, Ellie Cat, how are you? Katie Bug, Gemini 65, Jill Elaine. All right, here we go. Now remember, I'm only going very shallow here. I'm not going to go real in depth. So the first interior ring here, I will explain, is his birth chart. The exterior ring here is actually his solar return of the year 2022. Let me get comfortable and grab a drink with the whistle. I'll be right back. Here we go. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is I want to understand, he's got like a stellium over here. He's got this cluster in his birth chart, and that's where his fortune is in Pisces, and he is a Pisces. So when you have your fortune in your own sign, I'm telling you now, you've got a lucky star out your butt, okay? So he does have that. It's at 10 degrees. What's interesting is he does also have Mercury, which is communication, in retrograde. Aw, thank you, Carolyn Rain. Thank you so much for gifting that. And welcome, Cherish63. I appreciate that as well. Now, in this area, this is all from birth. This is his foundation. He's also got the sun and fortune. And he's got this, I don't got to fight for it attitude. It's going to come natural. And that's incredible. That's actually a silver spoon. All right, so when we extend that into 2022, we really look at this Neptunian energy here. It's at 24 degrees in, I believe, let me look at this, Scorpio was his birth chart, and then Taurus in his solar. So, bullheaded Neptunian illusion, and it's expanding with Jupiter, and it's being clarified. There is something that is going to force its way into his life in the year 2022. It does affect his fortune with this Saturn rules restrictions, and it's also in this communication. So something is a gag order is what it appears to be. This could be a gag order because it's communication, and it's a restriction with Saturn, and the communication is coming from Mercury. So this is a gag order in some way. It's somehow being restricted and not being able to speak of something. And it's also falling in the 12th house, which is sacrifices. So he's sacrificing some fortune, if you will, and speaking to that, addressing that right in this area. Let me get a pen and circle what I'm talking about. All right, do I have it? Yeah. Okay. Here's where I am. Sorry, you guys. So this is his fortune here. Right there. Let me get that off there. Let's see. Let's get a different pen. Maybe I can go with a bright green. All right, let's do that. All right, let's use this bright green. So, well, actually, it's this whole section right here is this 12th house. And this is a house of sacrifice. In 2022, he is right here this is Neptune. Neptune can be an illusion. Think of mermaids, right? It can be an illusion, a trap. You have expansion right here. This is Jupiter energy. And then right here in this box, you have the sun with fortune and restriction. And then you have communication, Mercury. So you've got Mercury, Saturn, fortune, the sun, Jupiter, and Neptune. Whoa. And it's all happening. He is a Pisces. So it is going into a Uranus kind of, right here it is, right? Uranus kind of, well, that's Pluto, sorry. Aquarius is Uranus, though, and that is getting very chaotic, electrical, a lot of media, a lot of exposure. And it's interesting also, let's just clear the board. Okay, let's go back to red for a minute. There we go. If you look at this over here in his first house, he's got the wounded healer, which is Chiron, and look at this, look at his birth chart. Wow. It's almost as if though he will be seen in a underdog position. Yeah, he's definitely got a lot of, this is crazy. But let's get out of him for a minute. Let's get out of his info. Let's look over here. We know that we had some Geminis, right? So let's go to, well, actually it would go like this. Let's go like this. Let's go like this. Let's just break it down. Hidden enemies. Look at this. Oh my God. All right. So this would be does he have any hidden enemies? It's also sabotage. Is there anything that's in sabotage? Well, is this Vex right here at 24 degrees. And that's interesting because that's in his birth chart. He is destined to have a major life change that will affect his life forever and ever with that Vex. And it's falling on Gemini, which is your, in this case, third house can be seen as communication. But not only is it the Vex, but you can see here's your Lilith. Some call it Black Lilith. And it's falling, all of this is falling in the third house, which is Gemini energy, the twins. Okay? So, I can also see where it's falling also not only in the third house, but if you look at this position, let's get this all up here. All right, you could see this also right here where it's the fourth house, Cancer, all right? And maybe that's Xana, Cancer. And with that, we have this expansion at 25 degrees. 7 can be a challenge. And we have this expansion, Jupiter in retrograde. Let's circle that little R there. That means retrograde. It means that this is a time where instead of expansion, it's not as expanded as it normally would be. It's in the house of pleasure, Cancer energy. It's weird. It's in 69. It's also a feeling. Let me see what Cancer is doing here. Yeah, I wonder if it's sextiling at all. Let me just look for a second. Let's clear the board of all that. Let's go down here and let's see. Sextiling here. Sextiling Neptune. So this is an interesting 56 minutes at 0 degrees. Whoa. All right, so there's definitely a lot of beautiful women and beauty, and there's an opposition and a sextile. And the sextile is with Neptune. The opposition is Jupiter. So when you sextile Neptune, it's illusion in beauty. It's Chewbacca, right? Listen to Lucky. And Mars is opposition to Jupiter, which is like even more of a 0 degrees. Wow. He also has Jupiter trining the moon. A lot of secrets here expanded and trining. They're growing, 0 degrees. He also has Neptune opposing Uranus at 0 degrees, which is polar opposites. Okay, let's get back up to the chart here. Let's go back to that. How are we doing on time? All right, my lovelies. Let me get this back up here. We'll clear the board and let's look at one more thing and then we're going to go. All right, so like I said, this isn't that in-depth. It's just a real short one. So Ethan, I believe, was a Scorpio, if I'm not mistaken. And this is what I find the most interesting is right in here. Right in here. So, let me close this off. Here we go. Let's just go like this. And let's just go like this. All right, pretend we're looking at this piece of the pie that I am cutting for us. So we have Scorpio at 13 degrees. When did this happen? November 13th, okay? We have the North Node, which is where you want to go, in retrograde. This was not to his benefit. We have fire sign in the 9th house. We have action being taken in travel. We have got this right here, Neptune illusion in retrograde. We have the moon, which is secrets hidden and at 13 degrees, as well as Scorpio 13 degrees. This is telling me it's secrets about a Scorpio. There are serious secrets. 13 is also the death number. It's in the 8th house, hidden enemies. His chart is telling me everything is about Ethan. I'm telling you now. We have this Mars Vita at 2 degrees. Very important here. This is where it's all about this balance. It is, you could see this as a vendetta because this will change his life forever. And it's in his descending. He's got the Vex there. So when you look at that, it's all about Ethan on this chart, followed next by the twins, and then least likely would be Xana. She seems collateral. When I look at this, it's showing me his ascending and descending line. Also, this would tell me, oh my God, his North Node over here. Look, right? And then we have Taurus with, oh my God, that's crazy, Uranus. And look at this, it goes right to the hidden enemy, which is a Scorpio at 13 degrees. Right there. And it's telling me that it's coming from his sacrifice, right? 12th house, and how publicly people see him. All right. And then when I look over here, I'm looking at the 7th house, which is your one-on-one relationship, is with a Taurus of some kind that opposes the Scorpio and Ethan. All right. We also have the 6th house. The 6th house is God. Oh my God, look at this. There's Black Lilith again. And this, I got to get out of this. All right. I'm just telling you, there's so much here. I could go on 4 damn days. 4 days. But let's go ahead and talk a minute about green in a reading. Let's get a reading together. We'll do that next. And in the meantime, if you didn't know Marie, we totally understand if you do not want to stay for our time together. I'm going to get this off the screen and let's see. What can I give you? I don't want you to have to look at the browser. Let's find something sweet. Let's go. Flowers. Let's look up something with flowers. White and red roses. We'll do it. Oh, well, that's not what I meant. but I would love her to have a bouquet. Okay, let's get some flowers to cover our screen. You know what? She would understand. She would understand this, right? Let's see if we can visit it and get it on the screen. Can I make it bigger? Yeah, it's muted. Thank God. Okay. Well, I can't get no flowers. What do I gotta do to get some flowers around here? Oh, that's beautiful. We're going to leave it on all these beautiful flowers. The whole page is all the colors that Marie loved. Look at this one. Oh, that's so beautiful. Okay. Aw, Barq, welcome to Starlights, my beautiful. Welcome to Starlights. So, she was, to me, one of the best mods ever. Because I'll tell you why. She was just bubbly. She lit up the room. She came in and she was like, #1 on the like. And she's like, gonna take a minute, be right back, I'm sharing. But it was so above and beyond that. Her heart was so in it. She followed me even when I went to do my Minecraft channel. And, you know, she just, me and her became such good friends. She would email me these beautiful things. She was just always kind. She was always loving. And she just was a gentle soul. And I really am going to miss her a great deal. Kara is coloring something in her memory. Oh, please do share it with us. Deborah Van Winkle says, Mama D, you are a continuous work of art, as they say. Ride high to the moon and back. Aw, thank you, Deborah. She was so sweet, Susan. Truly. I don't know, Sherry. I do feel flowers are perfect. I just feel flowers. I feel like that's what she's, you know, wanting us to look at is the colors, and I love it. Beautiful flowers. Dixie Bishop says, Marie welcomed me from day one here. All of you are so special to me. Marie did light up the room. Lee McKenna says, from the 1111 family. Katie Bug says, always kind and welcoming. Yes. Julie Lane says, she was always so friendly. And you guys, she just loved the boys so much. She would even email me little things, and I thought I was going to be okay. Like, I had settled down pretty good. And then I got, like, little moments yesterday of, oh, my God, I'm not going to get an email from me sent to me from Marie ever again. You know, and it was something I so looked forward to. Yes. Lee McKenna says, kind-hearted person, always welcoming everyone. Jenny says, I will miss modding with her. Yes. Sherry says, I loved how she would track the likes and who was watching. And Penn Dizzy says, wish I had made more live. She sounds like an amazing woman. I'm just telling you, she was like a bubble of freshness. She just, wherever she came in, she truly, and I know people say this when someone passes, but when I say it, I'm telling you, she lit up our room. She had great ideas. She was always contributing. She was the first one on the scene. And she was always making sure everybody knew what was going on, you know. She was the one that gathered us, kind of like the shepherd. She gathered us together to flock together and meet. And, you know, I would just throw a live out there. And she had a hard time. Mods will tell you, I don't do any heads up. I throw it out there and I just assume through divine guidance that the information will reach the right people. So she always stayed up with us so well. Yes. Always take the time, Dog Mom says, to smell the flowers in memory and honor of Marie. She was so welcoming, Gemini 65. Susan Rusco said, yes, she did. Divine Pathways says, I once gave her a free reading on my channel when I had a free reading night. I'll tell you, her energy is beautiful. Aww. I missed the last part. It skipped away. You say, always outgoing and friendly. Aw, yes. Lee McKenna says, pure joy. We're blessed to have her in our 1111 family. You guys, I assure you, Marie is now a spiritual angel that will be able to be a spirit guide for us on our true crime channel and on our spiritual path. It just so happened, right before I had any knowledge of Marie passing, I kid you not, I woke up the day she passed over the weekend. I had no knowledge of her passing at that time. I didn't find out till yesterday. So this was Saturday morning, and I got up and I'm like, I'm going to make a new channel and not waste that space. I am being guided that there are spiritual messages from our ancestors and loved ones that have passed over, and they're going to bring us something. And I'm like, what in the world am I going to call it? And I heard ancestors speak. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, I wouldn't know how to do all that right now. I'm tired, but I'll throw a background up. And then the next thing I know, I went and had some lunch, and I'm like, I have a message coming. Oh my gosh, I'm getting an upload. So I recorded the message, and it's called, Sometimes We Have to Rock the Boat to Make Some Waves. So go watch that. I put it up on the old 1111 Moon channel. And then I found out after I released it all, and or uploaded it all, I should say, I got the message. Marie had passed. And I was like, oh my God, she's already working with me. I know it. I can feel it. I know it. She didn't leave my channel. She didn't leave our 1111 family. She's now inspiring us directly, without boundaries of pain or restrictions of doubt. She knows her purpose, and she's here to fight for the purpose again, as always, for justice, for those that have no voice, and she'll do it through us. She lives on through us, through her children, through her family. Marie's energy has expanded, if anything, and I can feel it. And she's absolutely beautiful. I'm just delighted that she has honored us with her energy to move forward in such a powerful, beautiful way. And I know we're going to grow together. And I am fully dedicated now, understanding. She brought me clarity on my life path. And that was to combine my astrology with my tarot. And that's what's over on the other channel, is a lot of whatever the ancestors definitely use the wheel of life and the 1111 wheel. They love it, and they use it to communicate as well as astrology. And so it's all coming together. And it is her. It's like all about color. And she wanted color. And I'm like, I'm not used to all these deep colors. And the channel, y'all, I put the motto of the channel, as above, so below, before I even knew Marie passed. She is with us. Jill Elaine says, we love you. We all love you, Marie. Interior Family says, she was an angel on earth. Susan Rusco says, yes, she is a heart. Sarah Baggins says, I wish I knew her. Sounds like she was an angel in disguise. She gave many blessings. You guys, she couldn't always afford to be a member, so don't ever think that just because you're not a member, that you're not one of our 1111 families. You're always a Starlight. You're always a Mooney. You're always an 1111 family. It's just that I have to pay my bills, and there are some people that want to dig deeper and want to go into the chat and be able to, chat it up, which is the way I pay my bills. Because YouTube don't pay the bills, the members pay the bills. Truth Train coming through. And so when you're gifting memberships and things like that, you're helping people like Marie that couldn't afford it. And you know she did not afford it very often, but she was usually a member because of your kindness. And you help keep my channel around because I can then pay my bills and focus on bringing messages. But now we have Ancestors Speak, and I'm telling you now, it is where I'm going to be sharing a lot of our guided messages. It is absolutely a real thing, and it's solid, and now I know why. It's an expression from spirit through those that have passed over. And no, I do not talk directly to the dead, nor do I talk directly to Marie. She is part of Source, and Source connects to me. Lucy Lou Who says, I wish I knew her too. It sounds like she was a lovely person. She was liquid inspiration. And she was so humble. Oh my God, you guys do not realize. So one time she got into a spat with someone. And the other person was the problem, I'm going to tell you now. But anyway, they had done me wrong. And then I let them get away with it. And I didn't call them out on it. I actually enabled them by apologizing to them when they had lied about me. They had taken it wrong. They had lied. Anyway, that person went and did it to Marie the very next week. And bless her heart, she tried to hold her tongue, but she ended up trying to defend herself. And I called her out on it, and I called the other person too. And I told them both in private. I said, you two got to work this out. And I love you both, but I'm not going to have this kind of stuff going on. You two are good friends. Work it out. So instantly, Marie got in touch with me, and bless her heart, she's like, I didn't know what to do. I'm trying to defend myself. I said, Marie, I'm just asking you to tell me you won't do it again so we can move forward. And she goes, oh, I won't. I love you. I learned from it. And she was ready to move on. She was a lesson learner. She was humble. She was kind. And she was wise beyond her years. Juju B says, this has been different for me since I heard the news. Been extremely saddened. I'm grateful for you, Danny, and so much. Thank you for Ancestors Read. This 100% helped me going to replay. I love you, Juju Bees. I love you. Aw, I had my eyes closed as I was talking about Marie and I missed it. Bark you, my love. Thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Welcome back, Storm Dancer. Welcome back, Mama Scheibel. And Shayla Ray. Angela Smith, and Sin City. Welcome back to all of you. And that's what I'm saying. I always leave our members on this channel open to everybody to be able to watch. Because that way we're not excluding our 1111 family. Aw, Marie. Aw. I just heard this feeling of love. I know that sounds weird, but I can feel Marie touching my back. And it's burning. It's like when I get that, it's a cold burn. It feels like an angel touching my back, and it's because she's feeling this love, and I'm sure that Source is showing that through my angels. Thank you so much, BarQ, for gifting more memberships. I so appreciate that. And Jenny says, thank you, BarQ, for gifting those memberships, and hello to our beautiful new members. How are we doing, you guys? I gotta go. We have got to get our next thing going. I love you guys. And when I say that, you know I mean it. I don't have to go any further than that. I love you to the moon and back. And we all love you, Marie. To the moon and back and beyond and forever and ever. May you rest in peace. Bye, sweethearts. We're going to end right here. Oh, Kara, thank you for that. Thank you, Kara Lovely. Christine Saxby, welcome to Starlights. All right, you guys, I've got to get up here to get ready for the next live, and we're going to dig right in to the reading and get ready. This is like no other read you've ever experienced. Love you to the moon and back. God bless you all. We love you, Marie. Always and forever to the moon and back and beyond.